I really need to do a better job at recording video. So it's been almost 2 weeks, give or take, since I last recorded a video. I think the last one was actually a vlog. So today, heads up, this one is going to be all over the place. So I'm just going to bring you guys up to speed with all of my projects, the BMW, the Pulsar, which I believe you can see behind me, right? Yeah, the BMW, the Pulsar, and the Honda. So, heads up, it's going to be all over the place. And spoiler, they're all broken. Alright, so we're gonna start off with, okay, I have the daily here, which is a Nissan Swift, not important for this video. The Pulsar, let's start off with this one. This one, I haven't driven this one in a month, a little over a month, maybe 2 months, not sure. I haven't driven it in a while. I pulled the speed unit off of this one. This one is completely back to factory spec. I'm just hoping to sell this one soon. Really cheap, so anyone local to me who's interested in the Pulsar, everything works on it, as I checked. Only issue thus far, one of the bolts on the engine mount broke, so I need to remove that bracket, extract the broken bolt, and put a new bolt in, and it's good as new. This one is the Subaru, not my car. Okay, and should we do the BMW or the Honda first? The Honda. So today is Friday, the 2nd of April. Today is officially Good Friday, as most of you Christians, those who celebrate Christianity and everything, would know. And here is my Honda, my BMW, sorry. Let's go to the other side, give you guys a better view. Told you this video was going to be all over the place. And we look inside here, it's a mess. If you remember from the last video on this car, we had some fueling issues. I did say in the last video that it was fixed, so let's bring you back up to speed. So I got this car about a month ago, give or take, and I got it as a, I guess, unfinished project, so to speak. The car runs and drives, but it has its issues. Biggest issue of all is the fuel system. So this car runs on a link ECU, so I can monitor fuel pressure. So with the car driving, loses fuel pressure. It goes from the 300 kPa or the 43, 44 psi. As soon as you go into boost, it drops down to about 15 or 20 psi. Sometimes it drops down to 0 and the car dies. So I began troubleshooting that. This one, I went for everything. I've since swapped the pump. I have rewired the car so I get ample voltage. When I swapped the pump as per the last video, I said everything was fixed. That was not true. When I took it out for a drive after that again, problem came back. Rewired it so it's getting voltage. It does have some new fuel lines, which I have just capped off. New free fuel line. I cleaned the fuel filter. I swapped the regulator. So pretty much everything in the fuel system except the tank. So after looking at it a bit, the tank, I believe, is the cause of the problem. So I went ahead, I bought some parts. I'm redoing the entire fuel system. I'm ditching the tank and I'm going with something, I guess, that would be a bit more reliable. Which brings me to the car. Today is Good Friday, and funny story, earlier this week I was speaking to my wife and I was like, okay, I really need to come up with a name for the car, even if I don't tell folks what the name is, but just for my own, I guess, my conversations. And I was like, every single time I walk on this car, I believe everything is fixed. It comes back, it betrays me, it comes back and it bites me in the ass pretty much. So I was like, I should really call this car Judas, because that's exactly what Judas did. Those of you who follow the Bible and all of that stuff. So I was like, I should name this car Judas. And funny enough, today is Good Friday, and if I recall my Bible correctly, that was the day when Jesus was crucified after being betrayed by Judas. So I think I'm gonna keep that name. This guy is gonna be called Judas. He might lose the name, but I don't think so. Every single time. Anyways, I'm gonna call it Judas from now on. So if you in a future video hear me mention Judas, it's because I'm calling my BMW Judas, because it constantly keeps betraying me. Every time I think something is good, it's not. So that's the long and short of it. So the plan is I have a couple parts coming in for the BMW. I'm going to redo the entire fuel system. I'm going to future-proof it, so to speak, and it's going to be an upgrade and a fix at the same time. let me switch you over to the engine bay and then we'll pick up from there. So, all right, the engine bay. So as you can see, we have the inline fuel filter. So I'm going to be using this one, and I also bought another one. So I'm going to be using two. It's a bit windy, so hopefully you guys can hear me. The other issue this car has is wiring. The wiring is absolute garbage. So as soon as I fix all the hard parts, the next stuff is going to be the wiring. I mentioned that in the previous video. And another issue this car had, this car was overheating. So I took off the radiator and I was about to send it off to get cleaned at the radiator shop. But then I looked at the core. The inside of the core was pretty much rusted. So I was like, I'm not going to even waste money trying to fix that. So I put the radiator from my Honda. So we have a Honda half-rod on that. That seems to be, I guess, keeping the temperature at bay. I still notice it going up a little bit hot. But again, didn't really drive it that much. Only have maybe about 10 or so minutes driving into it. And the fuel pressure pretty much cut all my fan short. So that seems to be working for now. That is gonna stay until I can make certain that everything is good, and then we're going to move to changing that and put a full-size radiator and maybe a dual fan setup on that car. So that covers it. The BMW is not running, still needs some parts. And next up, let's move to the Honda. The Honda still the same place, still hasn't moved. Chassis still here, but I recently picked up an engine for it. Okay, so the two engines. This one is the new one. So okay, let's start with the old one. It's D15B. This is why we're actually replacing it right here. Let me see if I can show you guys. Right here, in there, piece of the block is broken. I'm not sure if I showed that on a previous video, but this one is pretty much a really big paperweight, and I picked up this one, a D16Y7. I mean, the processor just rebuilding it, rings, some piston rings, ACL bearings, and maybe some valve seals, timing belt, and clean it up. But the good thing about it is this one, we have on the crank pulley, I'll show you if it's too dark, we have a trigger wheel, 12 tooth, so we're going to be using that for RPM signal to the standalone, the Speedwino. So hopefully this one should be online in a week or two, and the Honda should be back up. Alright, so hopefully I captured everything, and this video was not, is my wife doing. Hopefully this video was not all over the place. It's Good Friday, so again, if you're a Christian, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy it for all the right reasons. Gonna have a couple drinks, but that's for another show.
I spoiled your video.
No, you didn't spoil the video. Like I just said, the video is all over the place, so it doesn't matter where the video ends up. We really don't care how the video ends up. So enjoy your weekend, guys. Drink responsibly. Do whatever you're doing responsibly. Do it in moderation. If you're doing agriculture, baby.
Yeah. Hi.
She's doing some agriculture on Good Friday. So again, have a good one, guys. Stay safe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.